Hello everyone, Ron is with another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll show you guys the different ways or the three methods for doing your global dodging and banning in Photoshop. So you're going to let me know in the comment section about the best method that you prefer using for your images, or one you prefer from this first tutorial. And yeah, this is a quick one, so make sure you stick around to the end, because these three methods are going to be transforming your photography and your retouching game to a whole new level. So this is a global dodging and banning and not a micro dodging and banning tutorial. So let's kick in and start learning about the three methods, and those are going to include the curves adjustment layers, the one for drawing lines, and lastly the color range option for doing the global dodging and banning. So what is global dodging and banning? Global dodging and banning is basically more about enhancing the highlights and the shadows in a particular image. So when we highlight or darken particular parts, to be contouring an image or adding shape or dimension to that particular image and giving it that kind of three-dimensional look in the images. So let's kick in and start learning about the very first method, which is going to be the one for using the curves adjustment layers and using the brush to paint over the highlights and the shadows in a particular image. So the importance for dodging and banning is basically to add shape or dimension. Remember, after skin retouching, the image tends to look flat, so we want to bring back that shape or dimension that was in the original image. So first of all, under the first method for dodging and banning, we're going to come to the curves adjustment layer and create a curves adjustment layer. So click in the middle and make a midpoint and brighten. So remember, when we are brightening parts of an image, we be dodging, and when we are darkening parts of the image, we be banning. So we're going to name that a dodge. So make sure the white mask is selected and hit Ctrl or Command I on the keyboard to hide that effect. Remember, white reveals and black hides. That's why you can see that the effect has been hidden behind this black mask. And we're going to do the same for the banning. Come to the curves adjustment layers, make a midpoint, and now darken just like that. And make sure the white mask is selected. Hit Ctrl Command I on the keyboard. And remember, when you're darkening parts of an image, we'll be banning. So select both by hitting Command and clicking on both layers, and hit Ctrl or Command G on the keyboard to put these two in a group. You're going to name that group D&B curves. And you're going to open this group and now select first of all the dodge layer. Come under the brushes, and if at all your tool is looking like this cross-like icon, make sure you turn off the caps lock key to get back the tool looking the way it is meant to be. Come to the brushes and select a soft round brush. So settings, hardness is at 0. And now for the opacity and flow, make sure you have an opacity of 10% and the flow of 100. Make sure smoothing is at 0. So come right down here and make white as the foreground. So click on these two boxes and make sure you have white on top. So you can toggle by using X on the keyboard to have the brush set to white. And as the dodge mask is selected, come and increase on the size by using the brackets on the keyboard and start painting over the highlights in the image that you want to enhance or dodge for this case. So make sure you just paint over those highlights that you want to enhance or add to this image. So we are basically highlighting some particular areas in this image. So you can see the before and after. You have just brightened up those areas, and you're going to come and do the same for the banning in this image. So come and reduce on the size and just ban particular parts of the image just like that. So we can as well increase on the size and just ban right here on the forehead. So you can even come to the nose area and just paint over to add or bring back the shape or dimension to the nose area. So you can come back and highlight right here on the fingers, because we have highlights. And if at all you feel like the effect is too much, you can come and reduce on the opacity of an individual dodge or ban layer, or you can close the group and reduce on the effect on the overall group. So you can see the before and after, before after. So this has been the first method of global dodging and burning, or bringing back the shape or dimension to a particular image. You're going to deactivate that group, and you're going to come and learn about the second method for dodging and burning. So the second method for dodging and burning, or highlighting and contouring an image, is going to be the one for drawing lines. So we're going to come back to the curves adjustment layers and select it, then make a midpoint, and this time around you're going to brighten the image all the way, just like that, until the image starts looking overexposed. And close this. Remember, we have just brightened up the image. You're going to make sure the white mask is selected. Hit Ctrl or Command I on the keyboard, and you're going to name that Dodge, and you're going to do the same again for the burning. So come back to the curves, make a midpoint and drag down. So you click to drag down until the image starts looking underexposed. Make sure the white mask is selected. Hit Ctrl or Command I on the keyboard to hide that effect, and you're going to name that burn. So we're going to select both by hitting Ctrl and clicking or Command, clicking on both layers, and you're going to hit Ctrl or Command G to put them in a group, and you're going to name that group D and B for dodging and burning, and you're going to name that to lines. So dodge and burn lines, and you're going to open this group, and first of all come to the dodge layer, and come back to our brush and make sure white is on the foreground, because we want to reveal the effect that was hidden behind the black mask. So opacity and the flow at 100%, smoothing at 0, and now we are going to start first of all painting or drawing lines on every area that has a highlight in this image. And for this case, I'm going to draw a line on the forehead. And since I have a tiny highlight, I'm just going to reduce on the size by using the brackets and draw a small line, and do the same for the nose area. Just and highlight right there, and just draw a highlight right there. You can even do the same for these areas. And when you feel like you're done doing so, come and do the same for the burning and increase on the size, and now draw a line right there and just draw one there. So you can as well contour right here on the forehead, and do the same for the shadows, or the nose bridge rather. So I think that looks fine. So as this black mask is selected, come to window and come to properties, and you can come in to the feathering option and just move the feathering. So you don't have to move it, you have to click on it and move it as you release, just like that, until these lines start dissolving into the image. And come and select the dodge tool and do the same. You start feathering until these lines start dissolving into the image, just like that. And when you feel like that is okay for you, so you can see the before and after for the dodging, and you can see the before and after for the burning. And if at all you feel that is too much for your liking, you can just come and reduce on the opacity of a particular effect. I think that looks okay for the dodging. And now you can as well reduce on the overall opacity. So this is the before and after for the dodging and burning for drawing lines, and I'm just going to deactivate this, and we're going to learn about the third method for dodging and burning, and this is going to be the use of the color range option in just Photoshop. So we are going to come right down here and still come to the curves adjustment layers. So you don't have to do anything like renaming it or making a midpoint for this case. Come to select and come to color range, and this time around come to the highlight and select the area that has highlights in the image, just like that. So make sure sampled layers is activated. So make sure sampled layers is on, and selection is also active, and quick mask is also on. And now you can simply come and play around with the fuzziness until you feel like the highlights have been really vividly like selected in the image, and hit OK. And this time around, come and make a midpoint and just brighten, just like that. And now we're going to do the same for the burning. So we're going to name this Dodge, And you're going to come down here and do the same for the curves or the burn layer. So make no adjustment right here and simply come right to select and come to color range, and this time around come and select the shadows just like that in this image, and you can play around with the fuzziness until you feel like the shadows have been really nicely selected. Hit OK, and now make a midpoint and now just darken slightly. So I know this may be affecting the colors in the image, and in order to encounter this, come and change the blending mode from normal to luminosity, and you can do the same for the dodge. And now come and change it to luminosity. And now we can put these two in a group by selecting both and hitting Ctrl Command G on the keyboard. And you're going to name that group DNB, and you're going to name DNB color range just like this. And you can see the before and after for the color range dodge and burn method. And if at all you feel it is too much, come and reduce on the opacity of the overall dodge and burn using the color range option. So I think that is enough for me. So you can see this is the dodge and burn for the color range option, and this is the dodge and burn by just drawing lines in Photoshop. And this is the dodge and burn for using the brush and painting over the highlights and the shadows in a particular image. And if at all you have really preferred a particular method for dodging and burning, don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section, and don't forget to like this video if at all you're watching from this channel for the very first time. Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in yet another tutorial. And don't forget to keep practicing and keep creating.